Good day. My name is Elliot, and today we're going to go over some subtlety of movement in regards to our spinal space, involving flexion, extension, lateral flexion, rotation, and everything's going to be conducted in a very tall space. So if you feel uncomfortable in a seated position such as this, you can elevate your hips by sitting on a block or to sit on something to help you, again, elevate your hips away from the mat to bring the knees lower than your hips to minimize any stress in the hips in that regard. But it's okay to go ahead and allow yourself to let your legs spread out into a straddle or into a wide heel space for your hips. But again, biggest thing here is making sure you're on your two sit bones underneath you and providing that length throughout the spinal smooth. Okay? So we'll let ourselves start off with a closed breath. Close eyes into a full breath all the way in through the nostrils. And then exhaling and releasing out from the mouth. Breathe in from the nostrils. Breathe out from the mouth. And we're taking our breath here first. So you can try to really breathe in through our spinal space as we have it. And then once you're ready from there, you can have your eyes closed or you can open your eyes if you choose. I'm going to reach your arms up towards the ceiling or the sky above your head. And then exhale, hands down towards your heart center. You can bring your chin either towards the chest, into the chest with neck flexion, keeping the torso nice and tall, lifting through the ribs. So if you feel as if your ribs are close to your hips, you want to lift through your chest and allow that space to be maximized, and then tightening through the core to maintain the spinal space for yourself. Once you've arrived there, we're going to then press through our palms. Inhale, extend your arms to go up. And then you have your palms face forward. And now you can keep your arms at full extension. You can wiggle your fingers, roll through your wrists. You can bend your elbows if you need to make it more accessible for you to move through your hands just as you are. Just keep your shoulders down away from the ears. Keep your breath in mind as you move through this set space. And then whenever you're ready from there, we're going to go ahead and reach up again. Full breath in. And exhale, bring your hands down by the sides of the hips. And then once you've arrived there, we're going to go ahead and let ourselves sweep our arms forward, bringing ourselves towards a seated fold for ourselves here. And if you'd like, you can gently rock from right to left. And then as you're in this position, if you want to feel as if you're in a more taller position, or if you feel uncomfortable in your back space, bring something underneath your arms to elevate your space, to allow yourself to find a little bit more range for yourself in a taller stance. So if you're folding, you're already right here, you need to relift your chest, find length throughout the spinal space, then proceed to fold forward. So even if you're just folding here, it's still seated forward fold with minimal aggression or invasiveness tending to the load of the spinal column. And then once you find your space for yourself, you're then going to go ahead and let yourself then lean from right to left. Taking your time, exploring that rear back space just above your hips. And then as you lean from side to side, allow yourself to breathe. So when you're in the middle, you take a full breath in to find that length through your spinal column. And as you lean to the sides, you're going to breathe out. And you can keep your chin to your chest to help you with that rolling space as you go through either side of the spinal column, just above your pelvic line from the rear, or your posterior chin. And then after, whenever you feel ready from there, we're going to bring ourselves to re-lengthen and lift through the heart. Have our hands slide behind the hips, press through your palms, open through the chest. And then once you find your space here, you can keep your chin to your chest as you push through the palms, lifting through the heart. Or you can lift through your chin, depending on how you feel with your neck. If it tends to hurt your back of the neck, don't lift the chin as high. Just find an appropriate space to lift and find that extension and space to the front side of the neck. After 3 breaths from here, you're going to breathe in to re-lengthen yourself back up. Bring your arms to follow into the extension of space. And you're going to have an exhale, hands to heart center, chin towards the chest. And you're going to go ahead and bring yourself back to neutral. And then from here, we're going to let ourselves take some seated spinal rotations. Very minimally, not too aggressive. Just allow yourself to move around the hips with your spine. Take a full breath in as you go forward, and then as you go towards the rear, you breathe out. And then as you explore this rotational space, just be mindful of where you are with your spinal column, whether it's the compression or decompression of the spine. Allow yourself to observe and find out where you are with this space. Is it more inviting to the lower part of the back? Is it more aggravating or challenging in the lower back? Do you feel as if it's traveling up and down your spinal space with discomfort? Or do you feel as if it's traveling up and down the spinal space with a very soothing and inviting way to hang out? And then as you explore through this space, allow yourself to take that breath with you. And if you want to make it more visual, or look at the feedback visually for yourself, try to find movement through the lower part of the spine. And then whether you just shift the ribs from right to left as you go through your rotation. And if you want to explore the upper part of your back, or the mid back, as you explore your mid back space, you can take a seated cat-cow for yourself here, which involves rounding the shoulders slightly into flexion. So when you shift to the rear, you're going to round to the shoulders as you go to the back. And when you go towards the front, you want to squeeze the shoulder blades behind you, or retract the shoulders as you lift through your heart as you go towards the front. And when you shift to the rear, start to round the shoulders. You can hold your knees or you can hold your ankles as you choose. Like I said, just allow yourself to observe where you are with your spinal space. Allow yourself to promote and staying as long as you'd like with that space. Or if you feel ready to go to the other side, feel free to then reset, change directions, going into and towards the opposite way. And you can take at least 3 to 5 breaths for yourself here, or 3 to 5 rotations if you choose. And even as you go through this space, if you want to explore your neck space, you can even include yourself going around with your neck if that feels comfortable for you. If it does not feel comfortable, you're not obligated to include your neck in that movement. And again, it's just about you exploring and finding what works best for you. And if you want to go back to the other side, you may. And you can even make it into a half direction to one side and a half direction towards the other side. If you want to make it more rhythmic or just really move into your own personal space, feel free. Think of your spinal space like a snake, or not a squiggly, but go in ahead and allow yourself to move with your spine with what feels right for you, working on just lateral flexion. So think of a cat-cow, but with the side body instead. Just going from side to side, again, allowing yourself to keep the heart lifted, and then letting the lower part of the hips or body flow with you thereafter. So again, just allow yourself to move from side to side if you'd like. Just take your time and breathe through that space for yourself. And then when you're ready from there, we're going to go ahead and return ourselves back to center. All right, inhale, sweep our arms up towards the sky. Then we're going to exhale, rotate ourselves towards the right, taking a supine spinal twist. So your right hand is going to go behind your hip. Your left hand's going to go towards the right knee. You're going to push through your right palm. So just be mindful of this space. If you feel as if you need to lean back into the twist. It's okay to start, but gradually you want to try to get yourself to a tall position with the spine. So you want to get your right hand placed appropriately right by the hip. So that when you push through your right palm, you can lift through your heart. And then you're going to rotate and look towards the right of you. And as you do so, you can hold your right knee to support the twist. And then when you look to the right of you, you want to look, you want your chin in line with your shoulder, not beyond. Because if you're looking beyond, that's too much strain on the right side of the neck, or you're compressing through that right side when you want to find length. And then rotate, okay? And then we'll take 3 to 5 breaths from here. After completing that breath of space, we're then going to breathe in, return ourselves back to center. And then after you return towards center, we're going to bring ourselves to the left side. So now you're going to have your left hand behind the left hip, lift through your heart, right hand over the left knee. And then when you're ready from there, inhale to lengthen the spine, exhale as you rotate to the left. And again, when you rotate towards the left side, make sure you're not forcing the twist. So you don't want to rotate so aggressively that you feel like your spine is hurting. You just want to rotate as if someone calls to you and you look over. You want to hang out in that range and then use your left hand to support that space, and then use your breath to, as you exhale, to rotate gently in towards that left side, or that rotated side that you choose. After your next breath from here, you're going to breathe in, return back towards the center. As we return towards the center, now we're going to work with some spinal flexion and extension from the front, and then we'll even work through our neck space. So whenever you're ready, you're going to go ahead and gently round through the shoulders. Now you can cup your knees and hold your knees here. Belly button draws in towards the spine. Breathing out with your chin to your chest. As we breathe in to find our extension, you want to keep your chin centered. You're going to support your hands on your knees. Lift your chest first. And as you lift your chest, begin to be more flat on your sit bones underneath you. Squeeze the shoulders. Maybe lift the chin if that's comfortable for your neck. And then inhale to re-lengthen the spine to neutral. And then exhale, going back to finding flexion. And then inhale to find ourselves back into neutral. And then exhale for extension. Inhale to neutral the spine. Exhale, finding flexion of the spine. And you can take 2 to 3 more in that regard. And then when you're ready from there, you're going to bring yourself back to neutral. As we find ourselves into a neutral space, we're then going to take a lateral side bend to reset after taking that twist we previously had done. So, let me see. Opposite's the same side. So we'll do the same side. So your left hand is going to go to the left of you. Your right arm is going to reach out to the side. Now, when you lean to the side, try your best to keep both your sit bones flat to the ground underneath you. As you lean to the side, try to keep the most distance from your bottom shoulder and your ear. If you're hugging your ear and your shoulder, you want to push away. You press from the left palm to keep that left shoulder away from your left ear and keeping your neck in a neutral space, okay? So don't let the head dump. Keep your neck in a neutral position with the chin in. And as you lean to the left, you can hold your right shoulder, especially if you feel like your shoulder's uncomfortable. You can hold the right shoulder. You can reach out to the side. You can reach overhead. And again, you can reach straight up, or you can reach all the way to the side. And make sure your right shoulder is also not hugging your ear. You want to pull down that right shoulder or engage your lats to pull down that right shoulder as you lean. And then as you lean here, you can look to the bottom shoulder, you can look to the middle, or you can look to the top. And they all explore different parts of the neck, so it's really up to you how you want to explore that space. So if you look down to the bottom shoulder, it's going to allow you to explore that rear side of the neck. along the top shoulder. If you choose to look forward, it's going to explore the lateral line across, or not a cramp, on the side of the neck, okay? And if you choose to look towards the top shoulder, or towards the palm, you're going to explore the front part of the neck and a little bit underneath the jawline. And they're all interchangeable based on how you want to explore it. So if you want to stay in the side bend and explore it in the same side, you can. Or when you choose to go to the other side, you can either continue looking at that same side shoulder as the previous side, or you could change the angle in which how you explore. So if I side bend to the right, I could change the angle, look forward, and then when I go to the other side, I remain looking towards the front. Now I'm working both sides of the neck at the same time. And then if I want to explore the front side of the neck, I again look up towards the top hand, and then now I'm exploring that front neck along the opposite side. Keeping yourself even through the exploration and through this space. It doesn't take too much for the side bend. You don't have to go all the way to the side. You can keep yourself as tall through your space as you can, and then using your breath to fill in the void along the spinal column, which includes the neck too. And then breathing in, coming back, and then maybe one part of the neck needs more attention than others, and that's okay. That's why I provide the option for you to explore your neck in different ranges, because sometimes you have to switch up and create variation to really explore what's going on with the neck space. It's all up to you on how you want to explore. And then after you've completed both sides evenly, we're going to inhale, extend our arms to go up, look towards the palms, and exhale, hands to hearts, towards heart center.